What's good? What's good? Right, so we're back for another trade recap. So we're just going to go over price action today. So as you can see in the title, we had a break-even day. Really think I should have deserved something from today. We were unlucky. Obviously, as you can see in front of me on the charts, we actually did well to get away with break-even with how price went. I'll go through it all, but the timing of when I went to break even was actually very beneficial to myself in the end. Could have easily gone quite wrong very quickly. I'll go through when my take profits was because I did have two set for today, which is why I said I was unlucky not to get something from the day. But we'll go through all that and we'll just get straight into it. And then I do want to cover quickly something at the end as well, so it may go on a bit longer this time, but we'll try and not drag it out. So there's a lot on my screen to go through. So we're currently in the 5 minute. Now, a big thing for me pre-market was this big move down during London session. So during London session, we did move down and where were we? Respected this gap here. I know it was this one? Actually, no, I think it was this. Sorry, it was this one here. It was this 4 hour gap here. Yeah, because we come right down here. Yeah, so there's London low right there. So we come down, we respected this gap here, the 4 hour range, respected this range also. Obviously, from previous days, we are extremely bullish as well. So we come down, respected that range. Filled price, we also were respecting 1 hour gaps. So come down, and we had to these gaps here. So respected this range as well. So to me, I was looking for longs. We'd come down, we'd fill this range. Now, when we come into session, I was looking for two areas to be swept initially, and then I thought we were looking really good. Now, I actually marked out this 5 minute gap down here because I wanted price to come down and take out these two levels. So take out this low here and then this low here, just internal lows, and then potentially fill this gap. Now, if we filled this gap and took out these lows and respected this range, obviously, I think longs were looking really strong for the day. We didn't get that, but what we were doing was respecting bullish momentum, in my opinion. So I did go for a trade that was slightly different to what I would usually take, but I just was working with what price gave me on the day. So what did I see? So firstly, we had a 1 minute S&T down here. Now, again, 1 minute time frame is not anything to base your trade off of. Keep doing that. And again, yeah, so it's nothing to base your trade solely off, but it was something to me, right, price has done this, we're expecting a bullish confluence. Let's just see what price does. So obviously you can see market opened. It was a very quick S&T into market open here. We're 8 minutes in. I was never going to enter a trade just off that alone, but it was just something I had marked out just to show you on NQ. This low here had swept out that previous low there. Now my NQ chart's a bit messy. This can actually go because I didn't trade on NQ. Now, the second thing we had was this. So so we just put that line there for a moment. Now we broke structure on the 5 minute, so we rallied up here. And then what we created after that was a 1 minute S&T. So again, we broke structure on the 5 minute, back to the upside, bullish confluence. We'd respected the 4 hour gap, the 1 hour gap, bullish confluences. So to me, price just didn't sweep these areas, which ideally I would have liked, but we were still showing bullish signs, which broke structure on the 5 minute, bullish S&T here, bullish S&T here, And again on NASDAQ, just to show you that we did have a bullish confluence. These lows here swept out these lows here. On ES, that didn't happen. These lows here stayed below these lows here. Now, what I actually entered off was this break of structure here. So we broke above here, and when I entered, I actually got a good fill because I entered down here, and it filled my order about there. So that's where I entered. As you can see, price moved down, and it would have probably or nearly stopped me out because usually I would have my stops about there. I wanted to give my trade a bit more room to work with. Now it was weird that I don't know whether someone tweeted or something, but price just absolutely rallied and shot down literally within one candle. So you can see this candle here, it literally was up here, went bang straight down. But luckily I'd given myself more room to work with. My stop loss was there, so it was quite safe. And then we had a nice move upwards. When this happened, I was very confident because what I was waiting for was actually on NQ on the 5 minutes. Now, let me just find it. Yeah, so I had this 5 minute gap marked up here, which I wanted NQ to break because on ES we didn't have that 5 minute gap. As you can see here, it wasn't a gap, it was just this big gap here, which we ended up breaking above just on this one here. Nearly pointed at the screen then, but obviously you wouldn't be able to see that. Yeah, so we broke on this candle here. We did the same on NQ. This isn't where I've moved my stops to break even. I'll show you in a moment where I did, but it was just a sign for me that the trader was looking good. You know, on NQ we'd come down, respected equilibrium, and I moved up. So broke 5 minute structure. We'd inverse a fair value gap. To me, this was looking super solid. Now, my first take profit on ES was set to London highs. So here, and the reason why I moved my stop to break even, that can go because I was just waiting for hoping price would inverse it, but it didn't. Now the reason why I moved my stop to break even because we sort of started to consolidate around this area, and we were a good hour and 20 minutes into session at this point in the day on a Monday, no news. Price typically moves a bit slower with low volume on a Monday. I knew that if price moved lower by over 50 ticks on ES, that it was either going to rally down and hit my stop loss, or it wasn't going to be enough to come down and then back up to where my TP was set. So literally, and I'm not even joking, I must have moved my stop loss on this candle here. I think when we broke structure there, I moved my stop loss to break even, and as you can see, the next few candles just shot down in price. I was very surprised that we didn't take London highs on ES or NQ. I thought one of the indexes would have definitely taken them, but they didn't. We just seemed to reverse after sweeping these highs. This can happen. It's annoying that I didn't take anything from the day, as I actually thought I traded really well. Looked at what price was telling me. I felt confident during the trade. My analysis pre-market was good, but the positive to take from this is I didn't lose money on the day. When I moved to break even, it was super solid. It protected my losses, and yeah, there is positives to take to it. Now, my second TP was up here, just on hourly highs. Now it was just a bit more of a longer a more aggressive TP. On NQ we had London highs, and then we had all-time highs. Obviously all-time highs on ES are all the way up here, so quite a way below those, but NQ they're quite close. So yeah, we just had that as TB2. Obviously, price didn't go as near as that. But yeah, break even day for myself today. Not unhappy with my trade, even looking back at it now. I think there was definitely reason for my trade, and I think the way price began to move, it was looking super solid. It just didn't reach my take profit one, unfortunately, and I think it was like 10 ticks in the end. Yeah, so we were close, but like I say, I didn't lose money today, so it's definitely not a bad thing. Now, besides all this, I'm just going to go into this real quick, remove them. I want to go through a few things because we're beginning of the month. Now, something I do like to do is set myself goals for the month, and I just want to share them with you. And then we'll review them at the end of the month. We can see what I have done, what I haven't done. But I do think it's important to write down your goals and set targets for yourself, be ambitious, make them realistic. But what I do is I set weekly goals and I set monthly goals. Now the weekly goals are to get me towards the monthly goals. The monthly goals are obviously to get me to my yearly goals. But I think it's important to write them down, make note of it, physically have to look at it, review them weekly, monthly. But yeah, I just find it works for me. So yeah, we'll go through them. We'll have a little talk, and then we'll leave it at that for today. So number one, I've got them down beside me. So if you see me looking left and right, that's why. So first one is just this. So for the start of the year, I started to write my goals down weekly. Last month I dropped off a little bit towards the last. I think the last week I didn't set any goals myself, and it was probably because we obviously failed the two accounts. So the three accounts. Obviously I'd been working a long time, and I thought it was a bit of a setback. So I just lost focus, and to be honest with you, I forgot about them. So number one, nice and simple one. Get back to setting my clear weekly goals each week. Now, number two is get into a better day-to-day routine outside of trading. Now, something I'm actually quite big on is setting a routine that's strict and requires patience, requires discipline outside of trading, because I think it very much relates to trading in a way. And by this I mean, going to the gym every day, or whatever you set yourself to go like 3 times a week, whatever that may be. Eating healthily, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Getting into the ice bath each day. These are some of my anyway, which is why I'm saying it. But just give yourself something to do and set a routine, and you set your mind to be consistent every day, because you'll be surprised on how it relates and how it teaches your mind to be disciplined and be patient and be consistent. And I think some of the results that I saw at the beginning of the year, January, February, March, aren't strictly down to this, but definitely played somewhat of a part towards me getting to where I was. And I think last month, if I'm being completely honest, I think I fell out of that a little bit. And I want to get back onto that. So, for me, getting to a better day-to-day routine outside of training, that's my number two. Now we go back into a trading goal. So positive on the month. Now I need to work out what last month's was. I think I just went positive in the end. It's hard to tell because I lost my accounts, so I can't see all of last month's progress or profits and losses. But I think from memory, the start of the month was really good. The last 2 weeks weren't so great, and then I finished the month quite strong. So I think I was just positive, but I don't know by how much at the moment. So I need to try and find a way of working that out. But for this month, let's try and be positive for it. So I've wrote as number 4, kind of like an add-on to number 3. Pass evaluations. Now, as a little side thing to this as well. I've put in capitals, don't rush to do so, with an exclamation mark. Because although I want to pass my accounts, there's no need for me to rush them. If I have to go into next month, I'm more than happy to do so. For me, it's not a, get rich quick scheme, or it's not a, I need to pass it in the next week. If this takes me a month or two to pass, I'm happy with that. For me, it's the longer term. So yeah, pass the evaluations, that's the goal. But in the same breath, don't rush. The main goal is, be positive on the month. So at the end of the month, if I'm positive, I'm happy with that. On a live account, I would certainly be happy with that. So I'm treating it like that. Now, number 5, we're going to do good risk management. Throughout the month. I haven't wrote down on this how much, but on my weekly I have, so I'm just going to put it as a little side thing for this. So no more than 800. Oh, that's definitely not right. That's definitely not right. That's definitely not right. What the hell is going on with my fingers here? Fingers are being weird. No more than $800 per day. There we go. We finally got there. Yeah, so good risk management throughout the month, no more than $800 per day. That's where my cap is. So if I do lose or have a losing day, if it's anything more than $800, that's more than I'm willing to risk. So therefore, that wouldn't be good risk management. So good risk management to me is being strict on that, and we'll keep it at $800 per day as a maximum. If it falls below that, even better. Okay, so number 6. Now, one thing, and this is kind of a goal that I've set to improve on from last month, is limit losses. So I've put limit consecutive losses this month / long streaks. So last month, something that obviously caused me to end up blowing the accounts was I had 5 back-to-back losses. I don't want that again this month, so let's have a month without those losses. Losses are normal in trading, so if I have a 2-day losing streak, or even a 3-day losing streak, that's fine. Happened to me before. I've come back from it, but what we want to improve on is them 4, 5, potentially even 6-day losing streaks. That's what you want to avoid, because that's where you become unprofitable. But we just want to limit that as much as possible. So that was number 6. 7, nice and easy one for me, hopefully, but something just to keep a routine is recap all my trades on YouTube. So all my trades that I do, I want to show you guys, want to show anyone watching. So yeah, we're going to recap all of my trades on YouTube. Number on speed now. Number 8 is stay patient and consistent. Yeah, stay patient and consistent. So it kind of relates to all of these, and it's kind of like one whole one. But just to remind myself, this isn't a rush. Just be patient, be consistent, and good things will come. And then number 9 is just learn from any mistakes / losses. Like I just said, losses are completely normal. Mistakes can happen as well. As long as I'm reviewing and analysing my trade and being honest with myself, and taking those losses as lessons, to me, that's not a loss. I'm learning from the mistakes, and hopefully in the longer term, it'll help me to become an even better trader. And yeah, so I just wanted to go through that with you. They're my goals for the month. Now I've wrote them down, so at the end of the month we will review them together. We'll be honest. We'll tick the ones that we've managed to do. We'll put a cross by the ones that we haven't maybe been successful with, and we'll be honest. But I think something like this is important to do. So if you're not doing this already, do it and be honest with yourself. At the end of the month, I promise you now, if I haven't done some of these, I won't be putting ticks by them. I've got, other, my other months wrote down here, and there is crosses by these, the ones that I haven't done. I've had to be honest with myself, because there's no point setting a goal and just going, oh yeah, I've done that. If you haven't done it, be honest with yourself, because it's only going to improve you. So if you're not doing it correctly, you're kidding yourself basically. So yeah, highly recommend that you do this if you're not already doing it. And yeah, also with that, set goals outside of trading. Don't just be tunnel vision. Although it's good to be that way at times and be focused just solely on your trading. I do think that having clear goals outside and away from trading will help clear your mind and teach you to be consistent in other ways in life. And it's something I've personally felt success from doing. So give it a try. If it doesn't work for you. At the end of the day, you've got to find out what works best for you. This for me has been working okay, so we're just going to stick with it. But we'll leave it at that for today. So yeah, appreciate anyone that did watch. We shall be back tomorrow if we do trade. And yeah, again, as always, just leave anything in the comments if you don't want me to add anything. I'm not going to go through the weekly goals. We'll just only go through the monthly goals. I'm just going to keep my weekly goals to myself. But yeah, I will catch you on my next trade. See you in a bit.